If just believe in yourself quasi-spiritual self-help books like The Gift or The Alchemist make you feel like you're eating junk food, but thorough how-tos full of refreshing truths and hard data make you feel like Popeye after a can of spinach, then The Lean Startup by Ries is the book for you. The Lean Startup, How Today's Entrepreneurs Use Continuous Innovation to Create Radically Successful Businesses by Ries is a terrific book. It's not only a refreshingly sober look at what it really means to innovate, but also an inspiring call to action for entrepreneurs of every stripe. Click on the book at any time to jump to the bookstore. The author Ries was already a Silicon Valley veteran when he founded his third startup. He'd already watched 2 companies sputter and die, and one would think he had learned his lessons, but Mr. Ries realized that that was exactly what he had not done. And he realized if he was going to make a successful product on his 3rd try, he needed to find a process where he could truly learn, and learn it faster, and learn it more accurately. It is his experiences building that 3rd product and the methods he developed in order to do it that Mr. Ries recounts in this non-fiction bestseller. Learn a little bit more about Ries by clicking here. Now, I know the term product development sounds like a boring boardroom sleeping pill, but in fact it covers all types of creative building. No matter if you're a machinist on a factory floor or a crazy-haired inventor, no matter if you're developing software, building a house, or writing a novel, you can benefit from Mr. Ries's proposals. Build a minimum viable product and deploy it immediately. Validate your learning because experiments are products too. Take a thorough accounting of your innovations. Do they grow your product or not? Many, many more useful work rules are jammed into this succinct and pithy book. I highly recommend it for all it's an inspiring read. Or if you like to listen to books, Mr. Ries himself does a great job reading it on the audiobook. So go out and get this book and get started up. Hey, thanks for joining us and stay tuned for the next interactive book review here on Book Review TV.
Mr. Ries is most well known as the co-founder of ImView, the online 3D virtual universe with current annual revenues of $40 million, and then also as the founder and primary promoter of the Lean Startup movement. While still an undergraduate at Yale University, Ries co-founded Catalyst Recruiting and actually took a leave of absence to take the project on full-time. But the company didn't make it, and he returned to graduate with a degree in computer science in 2001. In 2003, he joined There.com in Silicon Valley, an unsuccessful effort to use 3D avatars with cell phones. But then in 2004, he founded ImView with Will Harvey on the same idea, and got funding from serial entrepreneur Steve Blank. With Mr. Blank's guidance, Ries began an iteration process that proved enormously successful. Riding on the success of ImView, Ries joined Kleiner Perkins as a venture advisor and started writing a blog called Startup Lessons Learned, which eventually became the book, The Lean Startup, which has sold 90,000 copies. Ries has gone on to advise Dropbox, Wealthfront, Vodazone, Aardvark, and Grokit. His principles are also taught in classes at Harvard Business School and are implemented in municipal governments through Code for America. He is 34. In the 21st century, we face a new set of problems that Taylor could not have imagined. Our productive capacity greatly exceeds our ability to know what to build. Although there was a tremendous amount of innovation and invention in the early 20th century, most of it was devoted to increasing the productivity of workers and machines in order to feed, clothe, and house the world's population. Although that project is still incomplete, as millions who live in poverty can attest, the solution to that problem is now strictly a political one. We have the capacity to build almost anything we can imagine. The big question of our time is not can it be built, but should it be built. This places us in an unusual historical moment. Our future prosperity depends on the quality of our collective imaginations. The principles of the Lean Startup. 1. Entrepreneurs are everywhere. You don't have to work in a garage to be in a startup. 2. Entrepreneurship is management. A startup is an institution, not just a product, so it requires management, a new kind of management specifically geared to its context. 3. Validated learning. Startups exist not to make stuff, make money, or serve customers. They exist to learn how to build a sustainable business. 4. Innovation accounting. To improve entrepreneurial outcomes and to hold entrepreneurs accountable, we need to focus on the boring stuff: how to measure progress, how to set up milestones, how to prioritize work. This requires a new kind of accounting, specific to startups. 5. Build, measure, learn. The fundamental activity of a startup is to turn ideas into products, measure how customers respond, and then learn whether to pivot or persevere. All successful startup processes should be geared to accelerate that feedback loop.